Hey, welcome to the Create a Life That Is Beautiful podcast. I'm your host, Letitia Ringe, and this is the space to be for high vibe people looking to create a beautiful life and business. Let's do this. Welcome back to the podcast, my beautiful friends. I am Letitia Ringe, your host, and it's such a pleasure to be here with you all today. Today we have a solo episode with yours truly, that's me, and we are talking all about taking your business to $100,000 in 2021. And I am so excited to announce today that applications for my 2021 Holistic Business Mistressmind are now open. My Holistic Business Mistressmind is my annual mastermind for women in business who are ready to grow and take their business to six figures and beyond. I am absolutely so excited for the amazing women who will be joining us in 2021 in January as we kick off this annual business mastermind. And it's for you if you are a coach, a healer, or a creative, and you already have your business foundation in place, and now you are ready to go after those big business dreams. You're ready to up-level your impact. You're ready to elevate your confidence. You're ready to take your business to six figures and beyond. You're ready to really kick off those beautiful vision board goals that you've been dreaming about throughout your business journey so far. And now you're ready to really move forward and step into the leader, the CEO, and into the business and future you have been desiring. So if you have been waiting for my annual business mastermind enrollment to open, it is now officially open, and enrollment will be open for 1 week only. So what I recommend is this. Take your time to listen to this episode, because in this episode, I'm going to be sharing the first steps that I would take to create your $100,000 business in 2021. Or if you're listening to this episode at some moment in the future and we're not in 2021 anymore, or we're not in 2020, then just insert whatever year is relevant to you. I'm going to take you through the top steps that I would take from an energetic perspective and a practical perspective to align with the $100,000 business that you want to create in the next year ahead. I am also going to take you through the details for the Holistic Business Mistressmind. So after we have gone through this episode, if you're feeling like this is exactly the support that you need, you know you want someone who will help you go to that six-figure business that you have been desiring and to create the amazing other business goals that you've been dreaming about, all you need to do is head over to letitiaringe.com/mistressmind, and you'll find all of the details there, as well as how to apply. Now, as enrollment is only open for 1 week, if you're listening to this and you've missed out on this announcement and you're thinking, oh my gosh, Letitia, I really want to work with you in some way, please tell me how you can support me. Or if you listen to this episode and you're wondering, is the mastermind the right fit for me? Am I at that stage, that next stage of my business where I'm really ready to expand? Then instead, what you can do is go to letitiaringe.com/assessment, take the business assessment form I have there, which asks you to give me all of the details about your business and what you're wanting and where you are. And then I will come back to you with details on how I can support you in the best possible way. I'm so excited to keep connecting with those of you who are called to working together. And without further ado, let's dive in to today's episode, which is all about taking your beautiful business to $100,000 in 2021. So first things first, I recommend, if you haven't already, listen to episode 114, which was a solo episode with me all about building a $100,000 business and what I've learned through my journey of building a $100,000 business and then scaling my business to multiple six figures. I recommend you go back and listen to everything I had to say there, because that episode touched the soul for so many of you of exactly what we're worried about, what's standing in our way, and what what is possible. So I really recommend listening to that episode. I'll also link it to the show notes for this episode for you all. Now, what we know is that the first thing we must do when we want to create a $100,000 business, whenever that is to, 1, claim the desire. Now, what is the number one thing that I see other business owners who want to create a financially successful business not doing? What we don't do is we won't even claim that desire for ourselves. So we deny our own desires, which then cuts off energetically the opportunity to open up to receiving the abundance that we desire. We do this for all different reasons. It can be because we don't feel like we're worthy of it. It can also be because we feel like if we do claim that this is what we want, then that makes us less than in some way, or then that means we're greedy, which AKA translates into the mind judges that as being greedy. Now, this is something that comes up so much in the spiritual conscious world that we all live in. We have this belief that in order to be spiritual, in order to be conscious, in order to live a life where we're really supporting the community and being connected to everyone and equal, there can be this belief that we should not receive money. And what I really want to support every single one of you come to terms with is that money is not a finite resource, right? So by you saying yes to the abundance that's circling around you right now and wants to come into your life and fuel you and allow you to abundantly then give to the people in your life, including to yourself, which then creates even more abundance for everyone else around you, including for your clients. The first belief that you've got to start opening your mind to believing is that money is not finite, right? And that all you have to do is say yes to it. So by you saying yes, you're not taking away from anyone else. By you saying yes, you're also not saying that that's all that you care about. You're also not saying that you're attached to money either. Like, for instance, along my business journey, I wanted to take my business to $100,000. I wanted to do that because for me, that was the number that really felt like that I would be financially free once I had created a $100,000 business. And for a lot of people, $100,000 seems to be the number that a lot of people want to feel really comfortable in their businesses, in supporting the lifestyle that we want to create. And what's so funny about this is that for a lot of us, just like for me and a lot of the women that I'm working with, what we actually want to spend our money on is more trainings and amazing experiences that allow us to expand what's possible in terms of our consciousness and our minds and what's possible to create in the world. We want to have beautiful experiences that allow us to nourish ourselves and show up in the best possible energy. And so when we receive money for being ourselves and sharing our unique gifts that we were born to share, and then we use that money for those purposes to support ourselves in showing up in the best possible energy and to support ourselves in learning the things that we're inspired to learn, who benefits from that? Not only is it you as an individual allowing you to thrive and show up and actually give energy to the world, but you're also giving so much more to your incredible clients and community. So every single time I invest in myself in my business, or I invest in my own personal learning, every time I take the opportunity to grow and evolve in my personal life, like this year, I've really been focusing on a lot of family things and it's been very difficult and hard, but guess who benefits from that? Not only is it me, but it is every single person that I come into contact with. It's every single one of you listening to this podcast right now. It's every single person I work with, and it's the same thing for you as well. So when we invest in intentional, conscious ways that light up our soul, that allows us to create more abundance in the world for everyone. So it's not a matter of you take and receive money from your clients because they want to, and then that takes it from them so that it's taking from this finite resource. It's someone choosing to give this money to you because this allows them to up level into their vision and their dream. And then you receive that, and then you circulate that wealth intentionally in the ways that feel inspiring to you. And that allows you to continue to give more from a place of abundance for your community. Equally, that person who has made the investment into themselves in whatever thing that they're investing into has now created more abundance for themselves because they have given from a place of generosity and a place of belief in themselves, and they have allowed themselves to step up and allow more abundance into their life. Because when we make decisions, including our investments from a place of abundance and belief in ourselves, we make those decisions from a place of expansion, right? So immediately from the moment that you choose to invest in something in your business, the up-leveling begins. And it's the exact same experience for every single person who invests in you. The moment they say yes, they say, I am going to pay this money to you because I want this for myself and I know you can help me and I trust that I can create the results that I desire. We'll talk more about that in a moment. The up-leveling begins even before you have even worked with your client. The up-leveling begins because we have just had an energetic opening and because it's really about energy. This is the point of this entire first point. Claiming your desire for a $100,000 business or a $200,000 business or a $500,000 or $1 million or a multi-million dollar. Claiming that desire for yourself allows the energetic opening to receive. Okay, so it's the same with our clients. When we allow our clients to invest in themselves, we allow an energetic opening for our clients to receive as well. And it's because it's not about the money. The money is a form of energy, right? So why would we be saying, I don't want to create a $100,000 business. I don't care about the money. I'm not in it for the money. I don't want to have $1 million business. Why would we say these things if we actually believe that money is a form of energy and a form of abundance? We wouldn't. We don't say those things. So the problem is not money. The problem is the way our mind has judged and interpreted what money is. Now, so much in life goes beyond language and words. So we have to be really careful of the language and words that we're choosing to use and the power we give them as well. So what I would say is a very first point, before we even go to the first step, which is about claiming your desires, the first thing you want to do is start being open to seeing money as something that is infinite, that is abundant, that when the more you say yes to more money in your life, the more money and energy and joy and abundance and love and all of those beautiful things you create not only for yourself, but every single person around you. Yes, I feel like I could just drop the mic here with just this number one point today. It is so important to start opening up to. Now, I'm not going to say just start believing that because we know the mind's going to have a lot of resistance, and that's where our inner voices can come in to help because the inner voice is from the perspective of abundance. So what I recommend is you just play with entertaining and starting to collect evidence to support the idea and the possibility that abundance could be infinite and that money is abundance and then therefore it is also infinite. And so this allows you to get on the same page as me, which is that we can be amazing spiritual beings. We can live and fulfill our purpose, which is simply to be ourselves. We can thrive holistically. We can serve people and create a meaningful impact in the world simply by showing up and being ourselves and sharing the gifts that we were born to serve. And we can make a lot of money, right? My goal for 2021 is to make $1 million. That's my next goal. And that does not take away from anything that I've just mentioned there. It doesn't take away from being myself, from holistically thriving, from serving others, from being a spiritual conscious person who knows that she's connected to all that is. That goal does not have any impact on those other values that I hold. And it's the same for you as well. In fact, by me opening up and saying yes to the abundance that is always around me and just wants me to say yes to it, I'm actually allowing myself to be more of myself. And it's not because of the money or the amount of money. It's because I am abundance, and so are you. Okay? So if you are noticing that you have a desire to create a business that brings in a certain amount of money, the first step is claiming that desire. And don't throw in the amount of money that you think is actually possible. Throw in the amount of money that you actually want to create. That is the amount to claim. So we've got to start off by claiming our desires. When we claim our desires to ourselves, we open up the energy to receive. So the very first step is to take your business to $100,000 and beyond in 2021. You got to start with claiming that desire for yourself. The second step is you got to then ask for help. Whenever I want something, whenever I want to experience something else for myself in my life, I then ask for help after I claim the desire. Who do I ask for help from? I ask for support from the universe. I like to ask for support from my energetic squad team, which is a term I learned from one of my mentors, which I just loved. And when I tap into asking for support from the universe and from my energetic squad team, I'm asking for support from my angels, guides, ascended masters, goddesses, ancestors, all of the beautiful people and beings who are by my side, who I can ask for support in any single moment. I also ask for support from my inner voice, which arguably I believe is connected to all of these beautiful things anyway. So you ask for help, inner voice or universe or angels, guides, ascended masters, goddesses, ancestors, and all of the beautiful beings by my side. Help me, please support me in creating a $100,000 business in 2021 in a way that allows me to show up and be myself, to serve people using my unique gifts, and to thrive holistically. That is what I want. Please, can you support me in doing that in the highest possible way for all involved? Then I release that request, and I know that I will be supported in a magical way, right? So then after I ask for help, I'm then open. I'm open to receiving that support. Now, I really want to talk about this step today because this is where a lot of you are cutting yourself off from, right? You're saying, okay, even if you allow yourself to claim your desire, and then even if you ask for help, like maybe you've got your head on the floor, you're on the ground, surrendered, and you're saying, universe, just please help me. I just don't know what to do. How do I do this? Please support me. Then we have to be open to the support that comes through. So you may have later that day, or maybe it's a couple of days or even a month later, you may have an opportunity presented to you that can support you to create what you want, but then your mind says, well, that's not the right one, or that's not it, or it's just not possible. So you have to really allow yourself to be open. For instance, whenever I ask for support in my business or any other aspect of my life, I will then usually have someone turn up who is experienced in that area. And what I do is I trust that is a person I need to connect with, right? And it may not be to work with that particular person. Maybe it leads me in a different direction. But 9 times out of 10, it is to work with that person. But I have to believe that it's possible for me to create what I want, and in order to be able to see the options when they arise. So if you have asked for help and then you have an opportunity showing up for you, for instance, it may be joining us in our Holistic Business Mistress Mind, take notice, okay? Take notice, because you are being sent a beautiful, easeful, fun, and the highest way possible for you to up level in this way in your business, or if it's in relation to any other aspect of your life, in relation to your life, okay? So be open to the possibilities and watch what shows up in your orbit. That's the third step. The fourth step is all about self-trust. Now, whenever I'm chatting with someone about investing in their business, and whenever I'm making an investment in my business, and whenever I am coaching people on how to support people in a consult or sales call when their clients are considering making an investment in their business, the number one thing that I tell every single person to do, including myself, is to make sure I make that decision from a place of self-trust. The reason for this is when we make decisions from a place of fear and from a place of scarcity and not believing in ourselves, which is what we do when we aren't tapped into our own abundance, we make decisions that don't allow ourselves to up-level and expand. It's normal when you're about to up-level and expand to feel afraid, to second guess yourself, to have your mind coming in with all of the resistance. But the remedy is not to sit there and create more of that resistance by fueling it with all the reasons why you can't do the things that you want to do, all the reasons why it's not possible for you. Your mind has got that covered. The reason you've got that resistance is because your mind is sensing the up-leveling. And so the remedy is actually to do the opposite and go into that perspective of self-trust where you've already created the thing, or you're already in the up-leveling, right? Like you're already expanding, and you make your decision from that place of full belief in yourself. So the beautiful question is, if I really believed in myself, if I really trusted myself and my ability to create whatever I want, what would I decide in this moment? This is where, from this decision that you make and the perspective from which you make it, this is where the up-leveling will begin. But if you continue to make decisions from the place that you have made your decisions up to now in your business, you will continue to make more of the same, right? You're going to create more of the same. What got you here is not going to take you there. So we have to make our decisions from a different perspective. And the way to do that is to do the opposite of what your mind is telling you to do, and instead to ask yourself, if I really believed in myself, if I really trusted myself, what would I decide here? Now, the answer doesn't have to be a yes or a no. The answer isn't what's important. It is from the energy from which you're making that decision, okay? That you want to make your decisions from a place of abundance. Abundance begets more abundance. So, what would I decide if I really trusted myself? For instance, when someone's considering investing in something, what will typically happen is our mind will be really afraid because it's scared of you up-leveling and stepping into the unknown. It's scared of you creating the things that you want and being in your power, which, thank you, mind, we love you, but that's not really helpful when our soul wants expansion. So we can recognize that that is what is happening. What the mind will then do is look for all of the reasons and justifications it can find to keep you in the familiar past. And so what it looks for are things like, I don't have time to do this. My life can't possibly squeeze in everything I now think I need to do to support this up-leveling and this beautiful vision that I have for myself that's inspired and is what my soul most desires. The mind says it's not possible. There's no way I could squeeze this in. Okay, of course, whenever we're up-leveling, it requires us to readjust our priorities, and that's a beautiful thing. So we have to create space for the up-leveling. It's not to listen to that objection and take it at face value. It's to question it, right? Well, if I really trusted myself and my desires, what would I decide here? Well, you'd reprioritize, right? The second thing that might come up is around money. It could be, I'm scared to make this investment. And the reason we're scared to make the investments is because it's not about the money. It's because we're afraid that we won't create the results, that we won't show up in the way that we want. Something that you might have a fear around is, showing up in a group environment, you might think, will I just fall in the background and fade into the background and not move forward? Well, don't make your decisions from a place of I don't believe in myself. You got to make your decisions from a place of I do believe in myself and I know that I can do this. So what would I decide if I actually believed in myself? It's like you're making an investment into the future that you want. So if you trust that you're going to get there in the perfect way for you, what would you decide now to make that to make that journey more enjoyable and supportive for you? So there we go. When it comes to creating a business and taking it to $100,000 in 2021, what we want to do is claim our desire. We want to ask for help from our energetic support squad and the universe and our inner voice. And we want to then be open to the opportunities that show up. And then we want to make all decisions moving forward from a place of self-trust. Now, from a practical perspective, that was all the energetics, aligning your energy with the expansion. From a practical perspective, what stops entrepreneurs and business owners from creating a $100,000 and beyond business are the following things. Now, there are many different things that can be impacting the reason for you specifically, but here are some of the main things. The first is that our attention is scattered, right? We are not aware of what is actually creating the most impact in our businesses, and we're unwilling to let go of the things that aren't creating the impact that we want. So our energy is scattered, and that is why we feel like we're doing all of the things, even though we're not doing all of the things. Well, our energy is doing all of the things. It's like focused on all of the different things, and that's what dilutes your energy and your magnetism and stops you from really moving forward with clarity, with magnetism, with impact, with confidence, because it's impossible to try to do a million things at once rather than you could have your attention focused on just a few things. So actually, it's the opposite of what we assume. In order to create more in our business, we actually have to focus on less. And that feels really scary to our minds because it creates an identity around all of the things that we've created. So the first thing you're doing is looking for ways to turn that scattered energy into focused energy. And you'll do that by focusing on the things that have the most impact. The second thing you want to do is start reframing your relationship with money, right? So we went into a lot of detail on that in the beginning. I'll just repeat that your relationship with money needs to be one that is very abundant, right? You respect your money. You respect the flow of money into your life. You are opening your arms and welcome to receiving it. And you allow yourself to invest in yourself and in your business in ways that feel inspiring for you to do so, knowing that that is always coming back to you tenfold. So our relationship with money needs to be looked at from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. The third thing, and this is really important, you do actually want to have a holistic strategy and intentional plan for your business. Now, this is not so that it takes away your freedom, okay? That would not be cool with me either. It's so that it can create more freedom for you. So when we have a plan and strategy for our business that is actually coming from a heart-led, inner voice-led perspective and is aligned with our unique style as a business owner, needs as a human being, and goals, when we are able to create a plan and strategy around all of these beautiful things, taking into account your human design, your personality, your vision, what you have experienced in the past and have learned about yourself and what you enjoy and what you don't. When you create a plan from that perspective that is also taking into account what you've learned about yourself as a business owner to date, you are able to focus your energy and attention on what matters most in your business. But what a lot of you are doing is you're not willing to engage in any sort of planning process or even becoming aware of what your strategy, what the most supportive strategy for you is. And so you're spending a lot of time feeling like you're floating around in all of these places and you've got your energy scattered and your attention focused on all of these different offers and all of these different ways that you're showing up. And that is what is causing you not to have the space and freedom to show up and do other things in your life, right? Like to have interests and passions outside of your business. And so that's when we start to resent our business. It feels like, look, if I have to have this business, I'm going to have to do a million things and I can't have a life outside of it. That's when we don't want the business and we don't want the growth. But what actually is the problem here is not that the business is taking up all the space in your business. It's that you're not willing to focus your energy and attention on what matters most. And that requires a process of review, okay? So when we don't do that, we just keep beating our head against a brick wall and learning the same lessons over and over and over again. The next thing that we need to do when we want to grow our business and up level and take it to $100,000 and beyond is we also need to set ourselves up with a support team to do that. The reason for this is most of us do not have expanders around us showing what is possible. So you might listen to this podcast and feel inspired, but then you go away to your life and you're surrounded by people who don't necessarily have a $100,000 business or want to have one, and who aren't inspired in the same way and coming from this perspective of abundance. So you get your sort of dose and your fix, but then we go back into our life and then we're surrounded by people who have a very different way of thinking. And so that then influences our mind and sets off the mind going off again. And so it's like this one step forward, two steps back, one step forward, two steps back. So from even just a perspective about energy, it's really important to make sure you've got people in your life who are also holding and valuing the same things that you are and are really holding that energetic space for what's possible. So having a team around you, working with a coach or a mentor who can help not only with the how and the guidance and holding you to your vision and what's possible, but just having people around you who occupy that energy is so incredibly valuable and will allow you to leapfrog forward. And finally, what we also need is to know how we can create a business that does not require us to sacrifice what it means to thrive holistically, so your life as a whole, and also that allows you to have not only the financially successful business, but also a sustainable business, right? So one that will allow you to be in business for the long run and will allow you to continue to grow and evolve as the beautiful human being you are behind your business and continue to feel fulfilled and not like the business becomes a burden, okay? So that is exactly what has led me to creating my holistic business framework, which is a unique, one-of-a-kind way of doing business that allows you to combine not only holistic six-figure strategy, but also all of the things that allow you to show up in your business in that sustainable and holistic way, including being connected to and guided by your inner voice, working with your cycle, i.e. the menstrual cycle or the moon cycle and your entire creative cycle, working with your feminine energy, so making sure your energy is actually aligned, and also supporting your mindset. So even though we have the perspective of our inner voice and that can guide us every step of the way in our businesses, we still have a mind and we still need to know how to understand our mind, how to manage it, and how to help align it with that perspective of abundance so that we don't have this real struggle every time we're trying to up level and grow. So having support in your business and having someone who is even just a few steps ahead of you to help you, to guide you, is essential in my opinion. And the reason for this is I had to learn this the hard way in my business. I really wanted to prove that I could do it all on my own, that I was independent, that I didn't need any help. I really believed that by listening to lots of different podcast episodes and watching videos and all of this, that meant that I had everything I needed to create a business. But what I didn't realize is that actually what stops people from creating the businesses and the $100,000 that we want, it's not or it's rarely about the things we're doing. It's about our energy. It's about our belief in ourselves. And so I went on my own journey to really work on all of these things and to develop my holistic business framework, overcoming all of these things. And the number one thing that I realized is that my sense of independence, which once upon a time was really great, was actually stopping me from receiving the support I needed that would make the journey way more enjoyable and would actually support me in moving towards where I wanted to go. So I always love the example of every professional athlete out in the world has a coach, right? If you take yourself and your business seriously, you will get yourself support to create the things that you want. Why wouldn't we, right? Like, I always work with a coach now. Once I had that big awakening and realization, it was a moment in my business, and I had worked with coaches before, but I was too scared to invest in working with a coach that specialized in business. And there was this moment in my business journey where I was at about $25,000 a year making that, and I was going like, what am I doing? I am so successful. I'm great at what I do. I am offering all of these amazing things. I just don't get it. I'm doing all of the things. And I had this realization that why would I not allow myself to get the support that I needed? What was behind that? And for me, it was really unveiling this need that I had to prove that I could do it all on my own. So I finally kicked that to the curb. I went and got myself a coach and started making sure from that moment on, I always worked with someone on my business. And that was how I really stepped up and then created that $100,000 business for myself. So if you are someone who also feels like you can just work it all out yourself, you're fine, you're doing it all on your own, and you find yourself coming up against that brick wall time and time again, it's something that we really have to learn as business owners. It does take a village to raise a baby, and it takes a village to raise a business. So we have to allow ourselves to have the support we need, and asking for help, right, which requires a level of vulnerability, is actually you stepping into your power. So I encourage you, whether it's working with me or working with someone else, that you make sure you ask for support and that you bring on the support you need to guide you in your business, because it's so incredibly valuable and also allows you to step into that energy of belief, right? That energy of self-trust. I believe that I'm worth this. I believe that I can create whatever I desire. So there you go, my beautiful friends. These are the most important things that I wanted to share with you today about what it takes to create a $100,000 business. And now I'd love to share with you, for those of you who would love to know about how I can support you to create your $100,000 business and take your business to those next levels in 2021, let's talk about my Holistic Business Mistress Mind, because this is my the way of working with me, which will allow you to do just that. So the Holistic Business Mistress Mind is a 5-month business mastermind. It's a high-level mastermind for women who are already in business. So you've got your business started. It doesn't really matter about how long you've been in business. None of that really means anything. It's more that you're ready to take your business to the next level, right? So you're ready to elevate your confidence. You're ready to expand your impact. You're ready to move forward in your business in a way that feels really inspiring to you. It might be that you want to roll out your group programs now, or your online courses, or maybe you just want to book out your one-to-one programs. Maybe you just want to have consistent 4 to 5 figure income each month, or maybe you want to feel more space and sustainability in your business. Maybe you want it to feel like it's truly holistic so that you can enjoy the other aspects of your life. Maybe it's just that you know that you work better being around people who are also sharing the same vision as you and are inspired and who also want to create the things that you want to create. Maybe it's that you want to create that pathway to your 6-figure business, and that might be in 1 year, maybe it's longer, maybe it's shorter. It really doesn't matter. Or perhaps you're writing a book and preparing to publish it, and you know you want that beautiful energy to help you show up in a really expansive way as you go through that launch process. Maybe it's speaking at dream events, or having dream partnerships, or running your own events, or writing a book or expanding your team or bringing on your very first team member, whatever it is, in the Holistic Business Mistress Mind, we can support you to create just that. And right now, you might be making some money in your business, but it's not where you want it to be. Or maybe you are making some great money in your business and you're just ready to hit those bigger business goals. You're also someone who is incredibly great at what you do, right? You're a great coach or a healer, creative, whatever you like to call yourself. You are great at what you do. And the reason I know that is because you are being you in your business. So you might have created some really amazing things. Maybe you've already created some online courses and group programs and one-to-one offers and events and all of these beautiful things. But now you're ready to really create the amount of money that you want to create that will help you to feel financially free and independent. You might have, as I mentioned before, those dream goals that are up on your vision board and that keep being pushed to a later and later date. Maybe now you really want to use this container to really up level and bring those into reality. Now, you might be struggling with self-belief. You might have doubts about yourself and about what's possible and whether you can actually create the things that you want. Totally normal at every single stage of the business journey. You might feel scared about investing in yourself. You might be scared about showing up in a space with other amazing women and worried, am I good enough to be here? All of these are totally okay. It's something that we all experience as we're up-leveling, and it's about you really just reflecting and coming from that different perspective. What would I do here if I really trusted myself? Now, it's also likely that you just have no idea how to create the business that you want, how to take it to that next level that you want. Totally normal, and that's something that we will be working on to give you clarity at the very beginning of our business journey. So January 2021, we will be diving into the how. How do we create that for you in your business throughout this Mistress Mind container? Now, you might also be thinking, look, if I could just create the perfect funnel, or if I just had the perfect opt-in, or if I just had the perfect price, or if I just had Facebook advertising or whatever it is, you might be thinking, if I just had all of these things, then everything will blow up, right? Then I'll have the $100,000 business. But my recommendation is that it's never about those things, right? Those are great tools that we can use to expand whatever's going on in our business. But if what you're expanding is not what you actually want to expand, then we don't want to do that. So I always love to say, we really want to make sure you've got an offer that is really validated, is one that's making money that you really enjoy, that you've got this beautiful system set up for. You understand your process. You're bringing in $100,000 even, although if you want to use any of those before then, that's totally fine. Personally, I didn't, and you don't need to either. So it's once you've got this really beautiful, strong foundation that you want to expand, that's when you start to invest into things like Facebook advertising and funnels. Like this year in 2020 was the first time I started investing in Facebook advertising, but I'd already invested, I had already had a $100,000 business, right? And I did that because it was the right time for me to start playing with this, with Facebook advertising. That is a long-term business strategy. It's not a short-term. You don't use it to just suddenly get 1 million clients all at once. And it's the same with our funnels. So what we actually need to focus on is what do we have control over right now? How can we align your energy? How can we create a strategy for you that's based on what we know about you, what we know about your human design, what we know about what's worked for you in the past, and other considerations. So not having an idea on the how, it's totally okay, and that's a given, right? Otherwise, we would be where we want to be. So you'll have support on coming up with the how when we work together in the Mistress Mind, and then equally allowing that to continue to unfold as we work together. You might be thinking, can I even do this? You might actually be having a really amazing impact with your clients and seeing incredible results. But again, it's just not at the level that you know you're capable of creating. You might also be feeling lonely, right? That's a really big thing with business owners. With us solopreneurs, we spend a lot of time alone, or at least not with physical contact. And this year with COVID going on, that's been amplified even more. Or you might simply be worried about your freedom to evolve in your business. A lot of people that I work with worry, is this really the business I want to be in forever? And the answer is you don't need to know that. What we want to do is create something based on who you are and what you desire and what we know about you that will allow you to bring in the money that you desire and holistically thrive, right? And allow yourself the space to continue evolving as a human being. Like with my business, I've focused on the areas where I've responded to what people have been asking me for. That's allowed me to create the business I have today. And then as I move forward, I have projects that I've thought would be really fun to work on. And now I'm starting to expand into those areas too. And so my business just gets to evolve with me, right? If at any point in the future I decide I don't want to work on business anymore, I can pivot and I can be in the exact same business and continue to do that. And it's all about the way you set yourself up, right? So this might be speaking to you. Something else in this episode might have spoken to you. But needless to say, the Holistic Business Mistress Mind has been intentionally designed by me after supporting many business owners to start and grow their beautiful businesses doing what they love in a way that allows them to thrive and make money. And I've created this Holistic Business Mistress Mind. This will be the third time I'm running it. And I continue to up-level it and evolve it as we go along, of course. But I've created this intentionally with a very specific structure to support you across all of the areas I know that you need support with to grow the business that you want. This comes through my own personal experience as a business owner and through the experience of supporting others. So there are 7 things that I've identified that every business owner needs when taking their business to that next level. And it's regardless of what the challenges are that you're facing right now. It's regardless of the specifics of what you want. There are 7 things that will support you to create whatever it is you want and overcome those challenges. The first thing is having an intentional plan and holistic strategy that will allow you to focus your attention and start aligning with the things that you want in your business. It's really, really important to have that structure and that framework so that we can start creating space for the up-leveling for you. The second thing is having an understanding, a very intimate understanding of what your needs are as a human being. And so this is where working with your cycle, understanding your human design, understanding your personality, understanding what we've learned about you from your journey to date comes into play. This is really, really important, and this is almost infused with the intentional plan that we create together in the Mistress Mind, so that it's something that actually, the plan we create, the strategy we create is something that actually is holistic and allows you to take care of your needs as the CEO of your business. The third piece that we need is an awareness and up-leveling of your mindset. That's a given. Whenever we're expanding, we need to be aware of how our mind is limiting us, and also how we can support our mind to allow that next level, that abundance, that expansion in. The fourth thing we need is peer support and community. Having expanders, having connection is so important for us as human beings, and also as business owners who want to do things that for most of us, we've not had someone significant in our life model to us before. So I've mentioned in episode 114, I am the first person, a woman in my family who's created a business in this way, and who is creating the money that I've created in my business, and who has, I haven't had someone to model that to me. And so many of us are in the same case. The fifth thing is we need self-trust. So we've got to make all of our decisions from a place of self-trust. We also need accountability. So many of you tell me I just need someone who can hold me accountable. So that is definitely something that we have created for you in this Mistress Mind experience. And the final thing is to have someone who has been where you're going. And of course, that's me and the guidance I can provide you. So this is what the Holistic Business Mistress Mind is. The features of this offer are really what sell it, because it addresses all of these 7 things and everything that we've spoken about today in this episode. And it's been intentionally designed to do that. So what we do in the Mistress Mind is we start in January and we kick off with a one-to-one inner voice session for business together. This is an opportunity for you to be in your inner voice for an entire hour while you have me showing you how to connect to your inner voice and asking questions of your inner voice that will provide you with the clarity that your mind and you want to create the best aligned expansion in your business as we move forward. So I know all of the questions that people want answers to when it comes to their business. And rather than me asking your mind for answers on all of these things, what we do is go to the most abundant source within you, and that is your inner voice. So you'll have an hour with me where I'll be asking very specific questions to your inner voice, and you will be receiving guidance from your highest self that you'll be able to listen back to later, and that is going to allow you to show up really trusting yourself because you've heard it from yourself, and bringing that beautiful clarity to you because the inner voice just cuts through all of the different options and it gives you the best steps for you as the beautiful, unique individual that you are. So we start off with a one-to-one inner voice session, and then what we'll do is go into a live workshop with me and all of our other Mistress Mind members, all about how to create a holistic strategy and intentional plan for your business. This is a really valuable workshop in and of itself. It's me taking you through all of the different aspects of your business and how to bring that all together in a way that actually works for you and your unique human design, your unique personality, your unique vision, and it covers your entire business, right? So you'll leave being really clear on how to have clarity on what your business model is, how you move forward in the most aligned way possible to create the things that you want in your business, and exactly where your zones of genius are and where you need support and what those short and long-term projects are for your business for the next 5 months ahead, but also for the next year ahead and beyond. This is a process that you can then use again and again and again every time you're up leveling in your business. So after we go through that workshop where I basically give you an overview of everything related to expanding your business and creating what you want and how to then create that in a way that's aligned for you, you then have a special document that I will get you to complete, which is going to help you answer all of these questions and create that plan and strategy for yourself. You then send me the document with all of your amazing answers, and I personally review it. Then we have a one-to-one session together where I go through exactly what to tweak and change in your holistic strategy and intentional plan. I also support you with your unique human design and how to make sure that this is really tailored to your strengths and your zones of genius and what really lights you up and your unique way of operating in the world. We talk about working with your cycle, and we really just get rid of all of the, you guys will all have lots of different things that you want to do and focus on and lots of different details. And what I do is help you cut through all of that and just focus on what's actually most important. So you'll leave knowing exactly what you'll be focusing on for the 5-month Mistress Mind, and also guidance on what to focus on for the next 12 months ahead. And this is going to help you feel so clear and ready to move forward and start creating those beautiful results that you desire. Now, after we do that, then we go into the Mistress Mind. And what we'll have is roughly every 2 weeks, we'll have a Mistress Mind call with you and your Mistress Mind members. So these will be other incredible women who are all growing their business to 6 figures and beyond, who are committed to the beautiful business vision that they have, who are all ready to expand, who are all amazing at what they do, who are just going to become part of your business team. And so what we do is in each Mistress Mind call, it'll be, well, what's the next project for you that you're focusing on? What do you need support with over the next 2 weeks? And how can we support you? Do you need to brainstorm? Do we need to hear from your inner voice? Do you need some strategic guidance? Whatever you need, each Mistress Mind call you'll be able to receive not only from me, but also our other members. So all of the women in the Mistress Mind will have your vision in mind, right? You'll be able to tell them as much as you want to share, and they will be able to support you and hold you to that vision. So each member brings their own experience. Each member brings their own wisdom from their inner voice and from their mind. Each person brings this energy that they get to add to the Mistress Mind container. And so you're drawing on all of this wisdom, including me. So each call, you'll have support from me, whether it's business coaching, whether it's cyclical business guidance, whether it's inner voice facilitation, whether it's mindset coaching or feminine energy or practical business steps, whatever is needed for you, you will be able to receive in that call. And then equally, you will be able to support the other women in that group. So whatever you need support with, the other women will be able to support you. If they've got something to offer, they'll be supporting you with that. And you, if you have something to offer to each woman as they talk about what they need support with, you will be able to offer that to them. Now, this is incredibly empowering because when it's your own business, we get in the way of ourselves, right? Our head gets in the way, our mind gets in the way. And so we tell ourselves we can't do these things or we make things too complicated. But when you are advising someone else on what they could do and you're seeing possibilities for someone else, it's because you're coming from this place that's not attached and is objective. And so when you see yourself showing up as a CEO and boss and leader for someone else, you see that you can do this in your own business as well. So the Mistress Mind is so incredibly powerful because of what is happening here. It allows you to really step up and up level. Supporting people is such a powerful way of supporting ourselves as well. So not only do you have this beautiful process of really feeling empowered because you're able to step up and support others, but you also then get to draw on the wisdom of the entire Mistress Mind crew. So we have our calls roughly every 2 weeks, and then we'll also have a space for you to connect privately on voice messages or messages between calls so that we can continue. If you've got a question, you'll be able to go in there, ask a question, receive support not only from me but also everybody else. And really we just become really well acquainted and a big part of each other's lives. And there'll also be opportunities to connect with the Mistress Mind members in smaller groups and outside of our calls so you can really drop in deeply and get to know one another. There'll be opportunities for you to collaborate with me. I really am a big believer in abundance and sharing my platform and my community, which is why I love to bring on people who I've worked with onto this podcast. I love to refer people to people who I work with, who are my clients. I love to bring people into my holistic business community, like with our Holistic Business Month. Almost all except one person is one of my clients. And that is because when we work together, I am supporting you and I want to give you my platform too. So you'll have opportunities to collaborate. We will have opportunities to collaborate and to use my platform as well. In addition to that, you'll also be enrolled into my program, Create Your Beautiful Biz. So you'll receive all of the trainings I have there on creating a solid foundation for your business. So if there are aspects of your business foundation that need a little bit of love, you can dive into that. You'll get access to this from the 15th of December. So it will be before the Mistress Mind begins in January, on the 18th of January, which means you can go in, dive in over the holidays and just, start to learn about how to up-level your business foundation. Equally, I'll also be giving you specific trainings. We'll have live workshops. We'll have workshops with special guests, all to support you in up-leveling and expanding your business. So these could be things like inclusion and diversity, Facebook advertising, working with your human design, your beautiful, unique human design, creating funnels for your business. It could be on hiring an amazing team for your business. It could be on sales sequences, like all sorts of things. What I love to do is just see what each of you need, and then I create trainings and I invite special guests and I bring on, and I also facilitate live workshops based on what you actually need. Because what I don't want to do is give you a million things that you need to consume. What I want you to do is go out and work on your business just in the ways that are going to have the most impact, and then you'll have these beautiful trainings and inspiration for support as you need it, right? Rather than having to tick off a million things that you've got to have watched or listened to. Now, in addition, you will also go through a cyclical business training. So you're going to learn how to work in your business cyclically, how to track with your cycle, how to use it for your own self-discovery and personal development, but importantly, how to run your launches, how to run all of the different activities in your business, how to create all using your cycle. And then we will all be working together cyclically throughout the 5-month mastermind. So we always check in and talk about where we're up to in our cycle, whether it's your menstrual cycle or the moon cycle. And through the practice of actually experiencing it in real time and tuning into this beautiful system, this is what allows you to get really familiar with working with your cycle, which is a system for creative sustainability in your business. Now, I have done lots of different trainings and things about working with the cycle over the 5+ years that I've been working with my cycle. But the number one thing that has helped me to have the sustainable business and life that I have today, and the depth of knowledge and wisdom about working cyclically, has been through my own practical experience of it. I have tracked my cycle for over 5 years now. I have been with it. I've been learning from it. I've been learning from myself. And you can have this same experience too. And it all starts with that practical experience we have. So this is the best way of teaching you how to work with your cycle in your business, is by actually doing it. Okay, so we'll also have a welcome call for our Mistress Mind and a closing call. It's going to be such a beautiful experience. The results that our Mistress Mind members have had from this current mastermind that we've been in have been so incredible. We've had 2 women who have launched books during the Mistress Mind and have had incredible success with through their community in that launch, and the opportunities that have flowed their way from that. We've had 2 women as well have go on TV shows, like be on the radio and TV, and like really amazing opportunities coming up. We've had sold out group programs. We've had like highest income earning months ever within the first 2 months of the Mistress Mind. We've had like 6 clients in one day. We've had becoming a finalist of a number of awards. We've also had multiple team hires. We've had businesses that were once product-based only turning into a beautiful combination of products and services. We've had like first time, like big launches, like all of these beautiful things, right? And you can create all of these too. The way that you show up in an environment where you are there to show up for not only yourself, but for all of the other women in this Mistress Mind, means that you show up in a way that is just next level. And it's all done with the intention of also doing it sustainably and holistically. So this is definitely a one-of-a-kind mastermind experience. You will not find anywhere else where we have this beautiful combination of support for your business, and this beautiful Mistress Mind container is just magical. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, this is so exciting, Letitia, this is exactly what I need. I want to be around other people who also value all of the things that we do, who also have a connection with their inner voice, who are also just like so incredible with the amazing work that they're doing in the world, and just this heart-led, right? Like everybody's there to support you. Everybody's there because they believe in you and they believe in the things that you have been dreaming about. If you'd love to be in that environment and you'd love to have me as your guide with all of the experience I have in building my own amazing business, we would absolutely love to have you. All you need to do is head to letitiaringe.com/Mistress Mind and then follow the prompts there to book in your application call. If you've listened to this and you're thinking, I don't know if I'm ready for this, I don't know if it's too early on, but I'm really feeling excited about this, or you just want to know how else I could support you, go to letitiaringe.com/assessment, fill out the assessment form there. I also encourage you, if you are applying for the Mistress Mind, to also fill out that assessment form, because it's going to give me really good information before our call together. And just so you all know, again, the Mistress Mind is going to be open for enrollment for 1 week only. So we're going to have everything wrapped up by next week, which is super exciting. if you do miss out and you're wondering, oh, is there any way that I could squeeze in or find out about other ways of working with me, just reach out and ask or fill in that assessment form. And everybody, I'm so looking forward to speaking to those of you who are called to this experience. And finally, I also just want to announce that the end of year workbook that I created, the Create Your Beautiful 2021 and beyond end of year workbook, is also available for you to start diving into right now. And it's so beautiful. I'm starting to go through this end of year process myself, and I can't wait for a really epic 2021 and to really discover who I am today and where I'm going. I've also had some really amazing news recently, and I am going to be moving somewhere very soon that is not in Australia. Where will it be? I am going to reveal that in a future episode. But for now, beautiful people, I'll leave you with that. You have a beautiful day, and I look forward to you all claiming your desire to have the business that you want and really stepping into those beautiful, energetic, and practical steps we spoke about today to create the $100,000 business that you desire, deserve, and are creating. All right, my beautiful friends, I'll talk to you later. Hey, if you're ready to create your very own purpose-driven business too, I invite you to check out my online program, Create Your Beautiful Biz. You'll learn how to create a business that allows you to make your difference and thrive. Just head over to www.letitiaringe.com/CYBB. Let's make creating a business beautiful. I'll see you there.